I'm being joined at this moment by Dr. Farah Naqvi, Assistant Professor at the American University in Kuwait. Ms. Naqvi, thank you for speaking to us. Dr. Naqvi, let me first ask you, what are the, it's a terrible tragedy in which 41 people have lost their lives. What can you share with us at this moment? What is the news that is trickling in the Kuwaiti media?
What I have read in the news is that it is first of all, it is a deeply sad and unfortunate incident that happened this morning. And it has, that toll has reached around, in fact, crossed 45. And as you must have read, that majority of the deceased are Indians. And several people are also injured, and they have been taken to the nearby hospitals and are being provided medical treatment. The medical teams are doing what they can in terms of providing the due medical care. And what I have read in the news is that this incident happened somewhere around 4 a.m. or early hours of the morning as per Kuwait time. And it happened because of a gas cylinder in the watchman's room. And around nearly 160 people were living, mostly workers, in that building. In Kuwait, generally, when it comes to people living in society, so sometimes the companies rent out the whole buildings to workers, and then there are buildings that are dedicated only to family people, where you have the marriage certificate, and also only those can rent those buildings. So this was one of the workers' building, where around 160 people have been mentioned to be living.
Dr. Naqvi, if I may also ask you at this moment, this building, what area was this building in? If you could describe it for our viewers. We've been told that there were many Asians, especially from Southeast Asia, Pakistanis, Indians, Bangladeshis, those who were living in these buildings.
Yeah, we cannot say that it is specifically an Indian area, because it has happened in Mangaf area, to be specific. And Kuwait is a small country. There are many areas like there is Salmiya, there is Mangaf, there is Kuwait City and all. And most of the places have people, expats living. As you see, the Kuwait population is, I guess, around 4.8 million or something, out of which 3.3 million is expats only. And more than 1 million of which is Indians. So whichever building you rent, you have people who are living from across nationalities. For example, you will be living and you will have the neighbors who will be from Lebanon, from American, and so it is Indians or Pakistanis, so different nationalities all staying together. But there are buildings that get specifically dedicated to workers. So this was one of those buildings. In these buildings, generally, for example, one company may rent out the whole building and dedicate it to its workers. So this was this kind of a building. So it doesn't have mostly families. I mean, many times you see workers are from lower economic background, and they have come all over here to make money, and they live in kind of sharing accommodations to save money and all. So this is this one kind of building.
Dr. Naqvi, after this terrible tragedy, how big is a challenge for the Indian government and the ambassador to provide information to the families? Because there are many anxious relatives here in India, those who have no knowledge of the whereabouts of their loved ones in Kuwait.
Yeah. I've read that the helpline numbers have been released for their assistance, and the news has come from the embassy also that they are ready to provide the fullest assistance. But of course, they will be providing all forms of help. But this is a huge loss, especially to the families that will get affected who have lost their breadwinners. So it is this is a really sad incident that kind of shaken up the city.
Dr. Naqvi, thank you for joining us at this moment.